Morning, Sunny Hill.
Good morning, everyone. Thursday today.
Thursday today, getting towards the end of the week. We're looking at Acts 27:28. This is where Paul is taken by the centurion onto a ship, and they're going to sail eventually and get to Rome. And they set off, even though Paul tells them not to go because it got late in the year and he knew there was probably storms going to be coming.
Yeah. Yeah, because the first thing I got from this is that Paul listened to God and not to men. And that's a really good lesson for us, that we can be encouraged by men. We can be blessed by people that we work with or people we see. But ultimately, we want to listen to God. We want to do what God says rather than what man says. Yeah?
Yeah. And I love this in verse 21 of Acts 27. After they had gone a long time without food, Paul stood up before them and said, I think probably they'd gone without food because they probably couldn't eat anything because it would have come straight back up. And Paul says, men, you should have taken my advice not to sail from Crete. Then you would have spared yourselves this damage and loss. I told you so. That's what Paul said. Yeah. I told you so. But then he goes on to say, this is great. These are great. Verse 22, but now I urge you to keep up your courage, because not one of you will be lost. Only the ship will be destroyed. Last night, an angel of God, to whom I belong and to whom I serve, stood beside me and said, do not be afraid, Paul. You must stand trial before Caesar, and God has graciously given you the lives of all who sail with you. He'd been accused by Festus of being a nutcase. He said, you must be mad, saying all these things. And here he is getting up and he said, an angel stood beside me and told me that we would all be saved. See, Paul wasn't mad. He just had total faith, total adoration for the Lord Jesus, and totally knew what God wanted him to do. And he just obeyed. And I think that's a great encouragement for us. If you're given a vision, you're given a word, you're given something to encourage somebody, then you need to do it. You need to. You might be the encouragement that somebody needs. You might be the person that points them to Jesus, or you might be the person that brings them up. Or you might be the person that takes them out of the valley and puts them on a mountain. You never know what your words that you've been given from God will do.
Yeah, yeah. And God is faithful, isn't he?
Yep.
In all circumstances, God is faithful. And he comes to us in such a way when we desperately need him to be there. He's just there, and God speaks clearly to us that he will never leave us or forsake us. And sometimes we do get a message from somebody else that really encourages us and blesses us. But again, sometimes we need to ask God, let us be a blessing to somebody today. Let's bless somebody else with a word from you, an encouragement. It might just be a text message. It might be a phone call. It might be a visit. But just those small things can really be a blessing to others and a blessing to us as well as we serve him.
And then we get to this point where they were going to put some of the sailors were going to put the lifeboat over the side and get in it and sail away so that they would be safe. And then Paul says to the centurion, if they do that, we'll all be lost. But then we get to this bit, and this is the bit, again, I love verse 34. Now I urge you to take some food. You need it to survive. Not one of you will lose a single hair from his head. And after he said this, he took some bread, gave thanks to God in front of them all.
Yeah.
Another witness.
Yeah, sharing communion.
Gave thanks.
Yeah.
Then he broke it and began to eat.
Yeah.
What a way to tell them that they're all going to be saved.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paul just testified completely
Yeah.
throughout his life, throughout his ministry, and it's just a message for us, isn't it, to testify
Yeah.
Jesus wherever we go, wherever we're going, whoever we're with, to testify of his love and his goodness.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have a
Okay.
good day.
Have a great day.
Bye now.
See you tomorrow.